Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Hadiya and welcome to my official channel, Hadiya Nova. If you follow me here or on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you know my goal is to share content that inspires, educates, and helps us grow together. Today, we're diving into a brand new explainer on a truly fascinating topic. We're going to explore how Pakistan is striving to weave its deep Islamic heritage together with the rigorous demands of modern educational development. It's a massive balancing act, navigating decades of history, structural challenges, and a really ambitious vision for the future.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with faith and educational policy, then look at Pakistan's educational divide, move on to shaping the modern curriculum, and finally, wrap up with universities driving innovation.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Faith and Educational Policy, the philosophical foundation. To really grasp this, we have to start with the basics, the definitions that actually guide the policy. According to the Al-Iman Research Journal, education here isn't just about passing a test, it's a holistic pursuit. Think about it. The Arabic root of Islam implies obedience, purity, and peace, while the Latin root of education means raising or rearing. Put those together and you get a philosophy that balances intellectual growth with spiritual advancement. It's not just about producing a worker for the economy, it's literally about developing the complete human being. Let's take a quick look at the timeline. Pakistan was created back in 1947 as a homeland for Muslims in the subcontinent, but it was the 1973 constitution that officially recognized it as an Islamic state. Fast forward to today, with 97% of the population identifying as Muslim, the national policies have this huge, ambitious goal. They want to generate not just standard academic knowledge, but true Muslims who are prepared to contribute to society both intellectually and spiritually.
Which brings us to Section 2, Pakistan's educational divide, the structural reality. And this is where things get really interesting.
Because as you'll see, there is a stark contrast, and honestly a lot of tension, between traditional Islamic education and modern frameworks. On one hand, you have this deep emphasis on religious knowledge and ethical principles. But on the other hand, the focus is squarely on science, technology, and critical thinking. The real challenge for policymakers here is that these two tracks have historically operated in totally different worlds.
This divide has created what researchers actually call an inverted pyramid across three completely different systems. First, you've got elite private schools offering westernized education in English. Then you have the public schools. These offer broader access in Urdu, but they're struggling immensely with rapid population growth and high dropout rates. And finally, you have madrasas and mosque schools largely supported by civil society, which focus heavily on religious education. This fractured setup has unfortunately led to some severe inequalities based on class and geography.
And you guys, the human cost of this structural reality is just massive. These challenges severely hold back human development, resulting in a remarkably low national literacy rate of just 47%, less than half the population. It's a pretty sobering statistic, and it hits the nail on the head as to exactly why reform is so desperately needed.
So, the big question we have to ask is this. How does a nation, one literally built on the religious obligation to seek knowledge, attempt to bridge this massive gap? How do you actually unify these divergent tracks to be globally competitive?
Let's explore that in Section 3, Shaping the Modern Curriculum, Policy Solutions.
Policy groups are finally recognizing that real change has to happen right there inside the classroom. For example, the International Center for Religion and Diplomacy strongly recommends blending religious ethics with modern teaching methods. We're talking about shifting to interactive, student-centered learning. It means deliberately teaching critical thinking, along with tolerance and pluralism as core ethical principles. And crucially, it involves training teachers in child psychology so they can serve as actual emotional role models for their students.
And we're seeing the Higher Education Commission actively run with this. They now require Islamic studies programs to go way beyond traditional theology. Students have to demonstrate a commitment to social justice, engage in interfaith dialogue, and take courses like the study of world religions. But here's the real kicker. The HEC mandates that these programs show clear relevance to the natural sciences. Think about that for a second. It's a deliberate, structural attempt to synthesize the spiritual with the scientific, a real game changer.
This perfectly sets up our final section, Section 4, Universities Driving Innovation, the Practical Micro.
For decades, certain institutions have been quietly laying the groundwork for this integration. Take the International Islamic University in Islamabad. Since 1962, they've published a Scopus Index journal called Islamic Studies that perfectly intersects Islamic jurisprudence with modern science, tech, and even architecture. It proves that academic rigor and religious scholarship absolutely are not mutually exclusive.
And the sheer volume of modern academic output is just accelerating. Over at the University of Balochistan, this incredible academic drive has resulted in over 3,020 total research publications. That is a massive amount of tangible academic output anchoring these national policies.
But it's not just about publishing papers, right? It's about building real-world infrastructure. The same university established incredible facilities like CASVAB, that's the Center for Advanced Studies in Vaccinology and Biotechnology. It's a specialized hub dedicated to animal vaccine production and molecular biology, directly aimed at improving the socioeconomic conditions of rural livestock farmers.
Seeing researchers actively working with modern scientific equipment in these advanced biotech labs is just awesome. It proves, without a doubt, that traditional values and modern scientific innovation can powerfully coexist. These students are living out the holistic mandate of their education, using advanced science to lift up their communities.
And beyond the lab, they are driving true socioeconomic growth. I mean, the university is managing 102 research projects valued at over 445 million rupees. They have business incubation centers supporting startups. Oh, and here's a fantastic data point. Their DigiBiz freelancing program graduates have already earned $72,000, injecting that straight into the local economy. Plus, they just submitted 48 new high-quality research proposals to the national government.
Ultimately, as we wrap up, we are left to wonder, will this evolving, integrated approach to education be the key to fully uniting Pakistan's rich ideological heritage with its limitless potential for future innovation? It's definitely a huge structural challenge. But from the biotech labs to the highest levels of policymaking, the drive to create that complete, holistic educational system is very, very real. Thank you so much for joining me today on Hadiya Nova. Your support means everything to me. If you enjoyed this explainer, please like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can keep building this inspiring community together. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.